Good evening, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to episode 33 of the Matt and Matt O-Scale Train podcast. I am one of your hosts, Matt Rochford, and with me, as always, are my co-hosts,
Matt Suzuha
and Johnny Nugent.
Matt, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Great, buddy. How you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm
there
doing good.
Gotta say it the New York way, right?
I'm walking here.
Help, they dragged me back for another episode. No, I'm doing great. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited about tonight's episode, guys. So this is going to be
too.
really cool. We've come a long way from episode 1, and this is going to be our second. Yeah, this is going to be our second year in review episode. But before we delve into that part of the episode, let's talk about a few things first. Number one, places you can find us. We've kind of stretched our arms out. We've put our podcast on all kinds of different platforms. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Obviously, you can find us on Facebook. Podbean, obviously, is our kind of home base. But we are also available on Spotify and Amazon Music. So if you have those apps, feel free to just, on some of those apps, I know you can use your, your smart voice. And I'm not going to say those right now because I don't want to activate your device at home. But, you can say like, hey, play the Matt and Matt O-Scale Train podcast. And, hey, we might come up. All right, well, let's go ahead and talk about our merchandise, which is what we usually do here. Again, I will put the link in the show notes. There's plenty of cool stuff on there. There's coffee mugs and shirts and sweaters and hats and all kinds of stuff. So, if you're interested, click on that link. You can use merch code MAMPOD for 10% off. Now, something that's really big for our podcast, we now have a Discord available for the podcast. So we have an official Matt and Matt O-Scale Trains podcast Discord. Now, for the folks that are not sure what this is, let me explain a little bit. Discord is basically a community hub where you can chat and talk with other people, based on the server community you create. So, we're creating one based on our podcast. So it's going to be all about talking, model railroading, trains, real trains, anything like that. So now we created this podcast server basically for you out there, our listeners. And you can interact with us directly. All three of us are on there daily. If you want to chat about trains with us, post pictures of your layout, give us feedback on previous podcasts, maybe give us some ideas like on future podcasts, even maybe give us some questions that we could help answer on a future podcast. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We have moderators already set up to keep the server safe and under control, obviously, because our number one rule is going to be to respect others on the Discord server. So we will make sure it is a safe place for everybody of any age, any gender. Everybody is welcome on our Discord server, and we hope to see you there. Now, I will place a link in the show notes, and all you have to do is click on the link, and it will basically take you to our Discord server where you just have to click a button and you'll be in it. Now, if you don't have a Discord account, you will be asked to create one. And I ask that when you come into the server, just kind of introduce yourself. Check out the Welcome README channel, which has all of the rules, and just have fun. Now, if you have any questions about the Discord, just please feel free to reach out to us via email or our Facebook page, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. Now, the Discord is 100% optional. You don't have to join it if you're not comfortable. I just do want to make sure that everybody knows that it is 100% a safe place. We will all be on there, and I will make sure that that you're well respected, and that you have a great time. So hope to see you there.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm really excited for this Discord, and I think it's going to be a great thing for not only us as a community here on the podcast, but also for just in the hobby as well. We've got a wonderful community started up already of folks who have joined us, and we've made a lot of great friends. We've got two folks specifically I'd like to give a shout out to, our buddy Isaac and our buddy Clay. Both of them listeners to the podcast, and one of the reasons I think those of you who are interested should give it a shot is those two had not had a chance to talk trains with anybody outside of the podcast, and this was their way of being able to meet folks. And the ability to hop in a call with us one day every so often during the week and talk trains is one that I cannot recommend enough. It opens up an entirely different aspect of this hobby. And I mean, come on now, why collect trains if you can't share them with other people? So I highly recommend it. If you haven't joined yet and you'd like to get that experience, hop on Discord, just hop in, say hi, and let's talk trains.
It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. It's cool. We're in a couple servers together. The three of us. Um, but I think having people outside, like listeners to the podcast, and you know they'll eventually become your friends. And I think it's huge to have that community aspect. We've talked about it many times on this podcast before about the community and the involvement and people getting to talk and know each other. It's just a lot of fun, and this is just a very great extension of that. So please, if you want to, by all means, please join us. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think you guys hit on a couple of great points of that. Sometimes in this hobby, and sometimes almost in any hobby, it's really hard to find your niche group, right? Or people are maybe around the same age as you, or maybe people that have your same interests directly. And, before I joined Discord, my social aspect for model railroading was, well, I guess I'll either go on a forum where it's like a bulletin board forum, or I'll go down to the local hobby shop. And that was it, right? There wasn't any kind of like real time chatting and voice chats with fellow model railroaders unless I, went down to my hobby shop, which, you know, at 10 o'clock at night, they're not open. So that wasn't an option. But I think this really, and again, Matt and Johnny said it the best. I think this really kind of creates an awesome community hub for everybody. And we all look forward to meeting everybody out there. All right, so let's talk about the meat and potatoes tonight, right? So let's get down to what we're here to talk about, and that is going to be our 2021 year in review episode, or like we said last year, did we really buy all that? So no, uh, and trust me, we're gonna say that again. Now, before I start, I do want to point out that this is 100% not a bragging thing. We know trains are expensive, and I like other people, and I'm sure the guys here too. I try to rotate my inventory as much as possible. So if I buy a train, I sell a train. If I sell a train, I buy a train. Obviously. So this keeps my house from being overrun by boxes and keeps my wallet happy. So I don't want people to think like, oh my god, look at all those, those trains these guys buy. It's crazy. But when it comes down to it, we all have a budget. We kind of watch what we buy, and we're just happy to kind of tell our little story of all the things that we bought this year. And hopefully, at the end of all this, at the end here, we'll talk about some more things about 2021 and future episodes of this podcast.
House overrun by boxes. I mean,
Boxes. I like
boxes. See, Matt Z doesn't have that problem because he doesn't collect trains. He just collects boxes.
Yeah, just the boxes. I
Just
don't have any trains. I just got boxes.
Yeah, you just
But
collect the
they're all
shippers,
empty.
and that's it.
Yep, that's it.
So I'm not going to include any pre-orders that haven't been delivered yet. I'm not going to include anything that I don't particularly own right now that's not in my collection. That's me. That's the way I'm going to do it. So, and I will get started. So, it's got it, this was kind of a wake up eye opener here when I started writing this down, or putting it in my notes here on my computer. But I will start out here. So first thing is, and this is not in any particular chronological order here. I'm just, I got these throughout this year of 2021. So first thing was I found an MTH Burlington Pioneer Zephyr. And really excited about finding one of those. I was looking for those for a long time. Just really quick note on that. It's kind of one of my favorite engines because, my favorite one of my favorite museums, or my favorite museum, is the Museum of Science and Industry here in Chicago, and they have that Pioneer Zephyr, um, like right when you walk in the lobby, to the museum, like it's like right there, and you can go in it and sit in it and just go all around it. And it's such a beautiful engine, so I was very very happy to get that. I was able to find a Lionel Legacy Preamble set, so that's the kind of the bicentennial set uh, that they made to, and it's based on a real prototypical train as well. So I got a BNSF genset switcher. That was one of the new Lionel Legacy ones. I was able to find an MTH Santa Fe Premier DL109 AB set, and that has like the plating on it. Happy to find that. I really really enjoy running that set. Got a new. You know what? We're gonna have to say the word here. And I'm
Oh
sorry, folks,
no.
No,
but
no, please, no.
Oh no.
I'm
I
still
got an.
recovering from the last time.
I was able to find a MTH CTA 6200 Subway
Oh
with
yeah. All
with
right.
the green and cream cars. So those were really the last color scheme that I was looking for. So I was very very happy to pick those up, and big big thanks to our buddy Tim, who's on our server, who's one of our close friends here to the podcast, both of the podcast and real life friends as well. So thank you Tim for helping me find those. I was able to find an MTH BNSF ES44AC Heritage unit. So that's the one with all of the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Heritage logos on it. That came out. Well, it was actually offered at the beginning of 2021. I remember, or at the end of 2020. I don't remember. But it's very very cool. It's based on a prototype, so it's the ES44 BNSF that has all the little logos. So it's got like the Santa Fe, it's got the Burlington, all of the heritage logos. I was able to find a Lionel Legacy bipolar E2. Was happy to find that. We're very big fan of electric engines, and I just love like how big is it? It's just like this really big electrical engine, and I was very very happy to get that. It sounds awesome. So might be something I review in the future. We'll see. I was able to find a really cool Williams Chicago streetcar. Now this is conventional only, but it's so immaculately detailed, and it just looks and sounds really really cool. I was really excited to find that. Speaking of conventional engines, I was able to find one of my chase rare items, and that would be the K line by Lionel North Shore line Interurbans. And this was a 2-pack of North Shore line Interurbans that K line, by Lionel released, I believe like in 2007 or 2008. And was really happy to find that. It was been something I've been looking for years, and it just popped up on eBay, and I snagged it. So I was able to find a Lionel Lion Chief Harry Potter set, the one with the
Dementor's car, right?
Dementor's car. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you,
Yay!
thank
I
you.
know things.
Yep, my daughter's a huge Harry Potter fan, and I wanted to buy something that her and I could kind of like play and share together and stuff like that. So I found a Lionel Legacy Burlington Northern F7B unit. I know it's kind of weird saying I found a B unit, but I last year I had the Burlington Northern set F7 set, and I had the B unit too, and I wanted to make it find the final B unit for that set. So it's a Northern Pacific B unit, and I decided to go ahead and just make it a full ABBA set. Let's see. Lionel Legacy Santa Fe 442 Atlantic. So this is a first gen Legacy Santa Fe Atlantic, and this is a steam engine, obviously. So I was really happy to find that. I know I don't have too many steam engines, so I added some more steam engines to my collection. Um, Excited, I found an MTH Railking scale Santa Fe FP45. was very, very happy to find that. It is a Railking, but it is actually a scale engine, and I had been looking for this one for a little bit as well. So, something really cool that came out this year was that Menards Santa Fe F3/F7 unit. You can kind of call it whatever you want, but I did a pretty big review on that on my channel, and I'm looking forward to more Menards engines. We'll probably have to wait until next year. At the time of this recording, they had just released their second, beta release of their Santa Fe engine, and they fixed a lot of things on it that were kind of troublesome on the first series. And man, I'm excited. I'm definitely going to have for 2022 a year in review. I have a feeling I'm definitely going to have some Menard stuff on there. So. I found a Lionel Lion Chief Plus Santa Fe 060T. I think we talked about this before. And I also did a review on my channel. This is like one of the best deals in O scale, hands down. Like, I was so happy to find this. It's a great little switcher. It was an unbelievable price too. I So when I went to York this year, I ended up finding my first Atlas engine, and now I'm like really, really into Atlas engines. It got me really excited to find more because they're very, very high quality engines, and I was happy to find one. So when I was at York, I found that Santa Fe SW switcher. When I came home, I ended up finding an Atlas Santa Fe RS1. And to round that out, I did not add another Atlas, but I did find a really cheap Weaver Santa Fe VO1000 that needed a little work on it, but I ended up getting it fixed, and now it runs pretty well. So now I can't go an entire year without adding some Burlington Northern items to my list, right? So I have an MTH. I found an MTH Premier Burlington Northern SD24. And I also found an MTH Premier Burlington Northern RS11. Some of my favorite types of engines there. When it comes to like adding some housing to the layout, I added a Menards FedEx freight building. I replaced my firehouse with a Menards Country Suites hotel. This is probably one of the best additions that I've made to my layout. It's a really, if you've seen YouTube videos, you've probably seen that Bernard's County Suites Hotel there out in the distance, and I was very happy to find that and add it to my layout. I added a custom service station that was like custom made and custom built. Found that used up at Chicagoland. In fact, I think I was with Johnny when I found that.
Probably peer pressured into buying him. In all honesty,
you did. You're like, if you don't buy this, I'm not taking you home. So
I'm leaving you here, and you can
right.
ask Tim for a ride.
Yeah. And I found, I have an Menards Arby restaurant. Unfortunately, I have no place to put it. So it may end up being a review. It may end up replacing something on the layout. I haven't decided yet.
I'll buy your coffee shop.
Your coffee shop?
If you give it to your
My
best buddy
Starbucks?
Johnny
No.
as a
Yeah.
Christmas
Can't.
present,
I can't. Maybe. I don't know.
Mm.
Going out of housing and going back to engines, I did recently find a MTH GE Evolution hybrid set. So that's the GE ES44 AC with the charging lights on it in the lab car. And again, that was, that's a prototypical engine. GE was trying to showcase that it had a battery, and when it was stopped, it would charge the batteries, and it would charge the batteries by using the kinetic energy from the braking that it does. So, very cool engine. I had been looking one for quite a while. The road number on that is 2010, and one of the reasons why I did want that one is because my daughter was born in 2010, so it has a little bit of a sentimental value to me for the road number. But I also really, really wanted one as well, and I was really happy to add that to my collection. Now, I'm kind kind of getting to the end of my list here, and I wanted to bring up a couple of highlight engines that I was able to find this year. These are probably my two favorite items that I ended up finding. So number one is the Lionel Legacy EJ&E, so the Elgin Joliet and Eastern Railroad Shark Nose diesels. Um, just ecstatic about these. I'm so glad that Lionel made these. I'm looking forward to more EJ&E stuff by both MTH and Lionel. And lastly, of course, I ended up finding my white whale. That would be the MTH Santa Fe Blue Goose Hudson, and just ecstatic. I got really lucky that I was able to find one. I actually got it from a good friend of mine who had one, and he was decided to part with it, and he knew I was a huge Santa Fe fan, and he had asked me, and I immediately said yes, I will take it. There was no hesitation there at all. I'm looking forward to like running all these things. I've ran all these things on my list. I've been having a blast with them all. And I'm looking to add obviously more next year. Catalog for Lionel comes out next month already, the big catalog. So let's see what's in store for there. So that finishes up my list. I'm going to go ahead and pass this over to Matt Z, and he'll go down his list of things that he found. Go ahead, Matt.
All right, so here we go. I said, last year that, if this list was longer than last year's list, there'd be a problem. And yeah, there's a little bit of a problem per se. But anyway, here we go. So I'm going to start off with, I don't know. It's New York something. I think it's, oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's it. Yeah, I got the,
oh.
Well, it's okay. So that word is allowed on this episode.
okay.
So we'll
Just
make an
bleep it out
exception.
once though.
I'm still gonna
Just for the
complain.
laughs.
Okay,
all right.
just for gotcha.
Just for the laughs. All right, so I got the R32N train from DJ. Yes, I'm still buying from DJ. All right, so I got that from DJ. I got the New Haven and Penn Central RS11 set from DJ. The New Haven is actually patched for Penn Central on the front, which is really pretty cool. So it's got the New Haven on the side, but the Penn Central on the ends. Really cool. And I got, with that set, I got a New Haven caboose and a New York Central boxcar and a Union Pacific hopper that were all weathered. And he did a fantastic job on those. So really great stuff there. And then I did a trade with Johnny for he has the Legacy Western Pacific GP7, a bunch of Weaver cars, and a MTH Nickel Plate Road caboose. I traded my beloved Southern Pacific Daylight 1996 Heritage unit for that. I kicked this around long and hard. I couldn't make up my mind if I wanted to let it go, keep it, what. I was originally just going to buy the stuff off of him, and he really wanted it, so I'm like, okay, you know what? I knew it was going to good home, and I know he's loving it, and you know what? I don't really miss it, so you know what?
It's revenge for all the times. It's payback for all the times you taunted DJ on the podcast for that Tuscan K4.
Oh yeah,
It's
okay, okay. Even though I was just running it today, but okay, we'll go with it. We'll go with that. All right. All right, so then what else I got here? I got a Union Pacific caboose, K-Line, a Atlas, Pittsburgh and Lake Erie caboose. That's in the green. Well, not sure if it's green. It's more like turquoise. It's really cool looking color. That one actually I got from a buddy of mine, and I have to mention this because I like this engine too much. So my buddy Sid got in the MTH A2 Burke, and he got that engine in with the caboose, and he didn't really want the caboose, so he showed it to me. I'm like, okay, fine, go. So I have that now. He has the engine, so I have part of it. So now I need to find the engine. But in any event, next up we have the Lionel Pensy N5B That's the one with the yellow cupola and the train phones. And I was watching a video from DJ, and he had that. I'm like, dude, where'd you get that? And he told me. So I ordered the last one that some dealer had. I forget who it was now, but one of them. I got that. And I got a Williams N5B on the way. That's from Sid. He's waiting to find the box for that one. So hopefully he finds that and gets that on the road to me here. Next up, I did a trade with Matt R for a MTH Railking Erie Caboose, Coal Cars, and the Vision Line Reefer set from 2014. The Reefers, I've been looking for those for so long, it's not even funny. Those are really fantastic cars. I have the 2016 run, and I love them. And when he offered to trade those to me for another beloved set of mine, which was the CB&Q F3s in the Zephyr scheme, the silver. Um, I that one was really hard. I mean, I think of the two that I let go of this year in trade, that one I think was harder than the SD70. Just because I love that set, always have. I got it because I saw it in person, ran it, loved it. But you know what? I let the cars go last year, and I wasn't using it to what I should. So you know what? I let it go, and I know Matt, you let it go too. But you know what? Nothing wrong with that. Like you said earlier, you gotta have a rotating inventory. So that's kind of the way we went about that one. All right, next up, some engines from our buddy Zach, Joker's Trains on YouTube. Check him out if you haven't. I got a Pennsy G5, that's a Proto 1. And then right above my head here is the Proto 2 Pennsy B6 from 2000. Actually, I had one of these last year. I sold it, and then I ended up buying it back. Not the same one, the one from Zach, but I really kind of missed that engine and thought, you know what, I want it again, so I got it. So pretty cool. Next up is an engine I don't have yet, but I am going to actually trade for this one as well. It's a Reading T1. Johnny actually got this one, and he can talk more about this later. But Johnny got this one, and he was going to, well, we're going to trade for it now, but I'm trading my, it's a three-way trade here. So I'm trading my CNW SD70 to Matt R, and we're going to finagle some way and get some bucks over to Johnny so I can pay for my T1 here. So it's all gonna work out in the end. But that's that for you. Then I got another Subway here. I got the 1939 World's Fair Q cars. Those are really cool. I really like those. Old time Subway. Um, I did change the sound set in that one to be more accurate to the real Q cars. So that was a big improvement on that one. I got a bunch of street cars that I got in. I got in a Cincinnati street car, and then I got in a Pacific Electric street car. I also got in a PA Brill, the Allentown, Pennsylvania Brill trolley. Got in one of those. I got in a Proto 1 765, which, Proto 1, love it. So really cool. I got a water tender for my 611, and honorable mention in here is the regular black with the gold lettering Norfolk and Western water tender. That one's from the 765, and that one will be on the way shortly. Next up, a Premier Amtrak Dash 8. I just got this in last week, a week before. Really cool engine. I'm looking for some cars for this one, but I really do like it a lot. Next up, I got a Railking 280. This one's actually going to be out the door. I fried my MTH E6, and the engine, this 280, I got it more as a, for parts engine, but the board ended up being dead in it, so I threw in a spare board I had, so that spare board is going to go in the E6. So it's kind of a weird thing, but it'll all work out in the end. Then I got a New York Central 20th Century Limited, the Pullman heavyweight era. So it includes the engine, which I traded last year my Pennsy S2 Elko for. And then I got the cars from Trains. Really fun set. I've been wanting that one for a long time. So I've got that one. Got a Northern Pacific U33C. That's a legacy one. I got that from DJ. Then, as Matt mentioned, the 060Ts. Those are probably the best value as far as engine in this hobby. I got two of them. I got the Pennsylvania and then the Brooklyn Eastern District Terminal. Love them both. Fantastic engines. Lionel, if you're listening to this, another run, please and thank you. I got a bunch of signals in. I just call them signals just because I got so many of them. I got K&R, MTH, Lionel, you name it. Got a couple signal bridges from K&R. Really cool stuff. I got some passenger platforms in for my passenger scene, so that's really cool. I got an MTH brewery in with the smoke. That one's really cool. I like that. Then I got in some tech documents, and this is kind of a little funny thing. I overpaid on these, but whatever. It's a bunch of just, knowledgeable things. I got some, wiring diagrams and, troubleshooting things and stuff. It's cool. For what it is, I like it, and it's usable. So we're just going to go with that. Got some electronics in here. I got a Z4000. I got that from Zach. And then I got in a Z500 rather. And I traded Johnny my 180 brick for that. So that's pretty cool. I got a bunch of Lionel freight cars. I've gotten in, you name it, a lot of hoppers. I got the rainbow style CN1. I got that. I got some diecast coal cars in, a bunch of stuff. I got a Lionel B6. That's the 1988 one that they did, which was the very first steam engine with the rail sounds. That one's on the way. It's not quite here yet, but I do have that one coming. That's from Sid. I got the K-Line Spirit of St. Louis passenger cars. Those are Pennsylvania. Really cool. Those are from eBay. Then I have three more things here. A Nickel Plate Road 080, which that's going to be technically my first 2022 purchase, but I threw it on here just because I know I am getting it. And then I have a soon to hopefully be delivered here, a Southern Mikado, and this one's from Lionel. It originally had Rail Sounds 1 in it. However, Sid, he gutted it to use for the parts for himself. And so he offered it to me. I said, okay, that's fine. And what we're doing with this is we're putting Legacy in it, and I'm putting the Southern Crescent Pacific sounds in it. And this thing is going to be fantastic. I can't wait for this thing to be done. And I'm really looking forward to this. So hopefully soon it'll be here. I'm really looking forward to it. And then finally, last but certainly not least, I have probably my favorite thing I got this entire year is from DJ, the Pennsylvania DD1 electric. I've wanted this thing for years and years and years. I am super happy I have this one. It is fantastic all the way. So DJ, if you're listening to this, huge thanks, man. I really appreciate it. And that's the list. It's way too long, but what can you do?
Yeah, sounds like you got a lot of fun stuff there, Matt.
Oh, for sure. I love it, man.
I'm glad I had a big hand in a lot of that list.
Oh yeah, you, Matt, DJ. I mean, what can you do? Hey, it's the community thing, like we were saying before.
Now I'm going to jump really fast back onto your 060T from Lionel. Now, folks, if Matt Z bought two of those things, then it's a good deal and a good engine. So.
Actually, the Pennsylvania one, I had a hard time finding that. DJ got his first. He was like, I bought the last one this hobby shop had. I forget the name of it now, but so I'm like, oh darn it, I really wish I could get one, whatever. So I happened to I put a wanted to buy ad out on the OGR forum, and somebody reached out and said they had it basically brand new. So I'm like, absolutely take it in. So
oh wow.
So I'm like, I almost missed it, and
yeah,
I'm glad I didn't because I love those engines. I tell you, I would buy more of them. I might get that Bethlehem Steel if I can still find one because they are just fantastic.
You know what? Catalog is less than a month away, so I don't know. Maybe we'll be surprised. Maybe maybe not an 060T, but maybe we'll be surprised by like another really inexpensive, feature-packed small little steam engine or something like that.
I'd do it.
Yeah,
for sure.
$150 big boy. Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah, sure.
That would be a small boy.
Yeah, it'd be an extra small boy.
Yeah. Extra small boy. Extra small boy.
Instead of a 4884, it's a 1221. There you go.
I think I would just call it a 4.
A 4.
4.
Yeah. Just a 4.
Just a 4.
All right, Johnny, you're up, buddy.
Oh boy, now I'm in the hot seat. All right, so I was talking to Matt R before the show started today, and I actually made a list of things I thought I was going to get or wanted to get at the beginning of the year. I had absolutely no idea I was going to do this at the end of the year, and I accomplished a lot of the goals on that list. And I also significantly surpassed a lot of those goals in the list. So, just kicking it off here, and this isn't going to be a surprise to anybody, and I can already hear RBP trains cackling away. But actually, my first purchase of the year was Southern Pacific Daylight cars from K-Line, and that included the Southern Pacific K-Line 21-inch baggage car, which I know aggravates our good buddy Tim. Hi, Tim. 21-inch baggage car is your favorite. And full-length Vista Dome as well to match. And that was actually my first video I did on the channel. So that car has some significant some emotional value to me. After that, I also went down the rabbit hole of other really fancy K-Line cars, and that would be the Santa Fe high-level cars from the El Capitan set, which is an absolutely beautiful set. And it's one of those things where it was such a beautiful piece. I put on my layout after being afraid to touch it because it was just so shiny and reflective, and I was like, this thing's too nice for my layout. So I actually passed those on to Matt R, and he got a chance to enjoy those for a little bit. And we actually did a trade for that, which resulted in me getting a Great Northern EP5 with some MTH passenger cars. The EP5 is from K-Line TMCC, and that actually left my possession as well and went to our good friend Jason, whom we went to York with. And it's actually the set that got Jason and I to start talking and become friends. So that set, while no longer in my possession, in Jason's possession, has a lot of significance to me. First set I really bought for myself was a Lionel TMCC GS2 number 4410. This is a engine I saw Sid flaunting on calls many a time, so I decided since my Railking one definitely needs a little bit of a retirement here, I bought a scale one for myself. And Matt Z will not be happy with me because it didn't have a box, but I still bought it anyways. Yeah. You can go.
It's a nice one. I'm not gonna lie. I love it.
Oh yeah. He loves it because of the crew talk, and the crew talk isn't standard.
Fantastic.
Oh, hands down. The crew talk's great. Because it definitely seems more natural. It isn't as scripted as the modern crew talk is. Not saying it's bad. It's just a lot more natural. The thing that Matt Z likes the most, it's long, is the pauses, the ums, the 4410.
I love it.
Well, that's an engine. I'm very happy. Yeah, I love it. After that,
it's the most relaxed engineer I think on any engine out there as far as like voice goes. I mean, he's so laid back.
He's sitting back in his chair, reclining. You know,
he totally is.
I'll drive the engine if I want to.
Yeah,
that's it.
Well, yeah, that's a beautiful engine. I love it, and I run it quite often. It was my first ever scaled daylight engine, so it has. I love that thing. I also bought, if you can believe it or not, I bought 20 plus freight cars to go with it from an auction lot from that same website because they were going for super cheap, and I thought I might as well buy that to resell to recuperate some losses. So they found a lot of good homes to a lot of our friends here. Afterwards, I kept hunting down auction sites, and I got an engine that I also wanted since I was a child, and that was the first generation Legacy Union Pacific 844 in black. And that engine, I almost passed it up, but actually our good friend Bernsey poked me, and I managed to snag it. And I am very, very happy to have it. Beautiful engine. I definitely prefer it over the second generation with the whistle steam. Just the sounds are better and more unique. I'm not saying the second gen isn't great, but I'm very happy to own an engine I watched on YouTube for so many years. And following the Union Pacific theme, I snatched up a Union Pacific Lion Master Challenger number 3985. I actually sold my TMCC one and bought a Legacy one. And funnily enough, if you go back to when I first appeared on the podcast, it was my engine I said I really wanted. So kind of comes full circle. It is finally part of my collection. Speaking of the podcast, there's another set I bought because of the podcast, and it is my MTH Metra F40, not MTH, my K-Line F40 with MTH gallery cars. And I bought this set specifically because a certain Mr. Rochford over there had one and kept talking about how much he loved it. And saying, yeah, it says all the stops by my house, and it's the city of West Chicago, which I am from. And I was like, this big jerk over there keeps flexing his engine. No, but I've always wanted one. Our local hobby shop had one, and wanting to follow in Matt's footsteps here, I actually got that set. Got it for a really good price, and because just nobody was aware of it, which I was surprised at. And I actually sent it to my buddy Sid. We took out all the crummy K-line electronics. I just wasn't a fan of the sounds. Stuck Proto 3 in there, and it is a absolute beast. You couldn't tell it from an MTH engine. In fact, so much so that I called it an MTH engine a couple minutes ago. But great set. Going back to another item we discussed earlier in the podcast tonight is the 060T. After watching Matt R's videos on it and Matt Z's videos on it, and them going on and on and on about how they're great value, I can attest they are, and they sound amazing for what they are. They're such a great price. You get so much from it, and if I've told this to my friends in the hobby, if there's ever an engine to impulse buy and not feel bad about it, this is the one. So if you see one, snag it up. You won't regret it. Going from a small engine, we're going to go to a significantly bigger engine, which is the MTH Proto 2 Premier Reading T1. This is my first ever Premier steam locomotive, and it was like really late at night when it came up on eBay, and I saw the price. It was such a steal that I was like, I bet Matt Z's gonna want this thing.
I saw it too, and I told him if you don't buy it, I will. So,
and to which I responded, I already bought it. So
yeah.
I had already bought it. One, because it was such a good deal, and two, because I know Matt Z would want it, and I always try my best to help him out, get stuff he likes. We just have a nice little friendship agreement here, and that I'll get to enjoy some stuff. And once he has the funds to acquire it for his own collection, I send it off to him. So it's a nice way for both of us to enjoy engines we like. So that one, I got to enjoy it. It's currently with Sid. It's currently having some tether issues, but once Sid finishes fixing it up for us, I will have him send it straight to Matt Z so he can enjoy a big Northern on his layout that isn't a Proto 1 engine. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Proto 1, just he wants something a little bit nicer, I suppose.
Oh, yeah. And plus it's different though. It's different than my J anyway, so it's a new engine. I'm excited.
Oh, you'll love it. You'll love it, dude. It's a great engine.
Sweet, I can't wait.
So another engine that I acquired because of Matt Z actually was the Lionel Legacy SD70 UP Heritage units. And the first one I got was the Rio Grande 1989. And the reason I bought it is because I actually, and I'll talk about this more later on, pre-ordered the Lionel Ski Train 4-pack. And I really needed an engine to pull it because Lionel didn't release F40s like we thought they were, which is fine. So I bought the 1989 to be my mode of power. And meeting Matt Z, he rekindled that love for the SD70s. I was content not owning any, and then he kept showing off his 1995 and 1996. So I thought, I gotta get one. So I did, and don't worry, I got my revenge on him because I bought it without a box just to spite him. But that engine's beautiful. I love it, and I will be showcasing it on the channel very, very soon. And I also got a Rio Grande Atlas caboose from Matt Z, to match it, and it's one of my favorite cabooses in the collection. Moving on from there, another piece of rolling stock. I know rolling stock's a weird one to showcase, but I got a Freight Sounds PFE reefer, and I love the sound cars that Lionel's been putting out. They're just absolutely amazing. They add so much to your trains. And, because when the engine goes by, it's basically over. The sounds are done. But if you got a Freight Sounds car in there, especially if it's a Vision Line one, really helps to round out the train, and it makes people excited. I actually got this when our good buddy Stephen Cofferel came down to Chicago. We got it from our good buddies at Berwyn Toys and Trains. And our buddy George from GFW Trains was debating with his entire being if he wanted to buy it. So much so, if he spent all his funds that day, he probably wouldn't be able to afford lunch. So I talked him out of it, and then being the nice guy I am, I immediately snatched it up the moment he put it down. But it's a great car. I'm really happy to have it. And moving on from there, I delved back into the realm of K-Line again, and I actually acquired a K-Line 21-inch New York Central 20th Century Limited set. And that set is absolutely beautiful. Hands down, some of the nicest New York Central cars you can get outside of Golden Gate Depot. Especially that observation car. Matt Z and I have gone on and on and on about how beautiful that car is, and I got it for an absolute steal.
That if I could have one car out of that entire set, it's that one.
I know.
The whole set is pretty, but that observation car is to die for. That one is just, oh man, you would swear that's a Golden Gate car. That's how nice it is. It is fantastic.
For sure. And as much as I loved it, I didn't keep it. I just don't have any New York Central motive power. I'm a very West Coast guy in terms of railroads. So I actually let that go, but I did go to a good home, and that set was like the entire 6-car set. Baggage cars, coaches, sleepers, diners, observation, you name it, it's all there. And I actually sold it to someone on YouTube we may be familiar with, our good buddy Jason from JD Stucks, and I know he's been enjoying it. He's been looking for those cars for years now, and it's really nice to be able to help a friend accomplish one of their dreams. So, Jason, if you're listening, I really hope you enjoyed those cars, man, and it's been amazing to see those run on your layout. Another K-Line set I got was the Ringling Brothers passenger cars. I got the generator car, the advertising car, and a coach car. And this was from the first ever train show Matt R. and I went to together. And it was the first train show since the end of the pandemic. And wow, I got those for such a steal. I've always wanted the K-Line Ringling Brothers set. I actually have the original pamphlet they released. And it's really surreal to say that they're part of my collection. I do plan to add more. In fact, my local hobby shop called me up the other week saying, hey, we got K-Line cars in from the Ringling set. Come in and give us your money. So I will be doing so. And then kind of slowly working my way towards the end of the year here, I bought an engine. This one is got to be the highlight of my year, which is the Lionel Legacy Chesapeake, Ohio 2696 Berkshire. And let me tell you, this is one of the best and most underappreciated Legacy Berks that Lionel's made. It came in the Empire Builder set, which were sets that Lionel released, which I believe came with a scale engine, at least 5 scale cars, the Legacy 990 set, a whole oval of 0782 fast track with 2 command switches, and I think 180 brakes as well. So this was a banging set, and this was the only time you could get that engine was from that set. So it has a very iconic Chesapeake and Ohio deep whistle, and it's only been used in that engine once. And if you have never heard that sound set, you are missing out. And I will be making a showcase on said engine to give it the proper highlight that it deserves. After that, I got a gutted GS4. Yes, I know, GS4s. Grabbed one of those for a project. I will be turning it into a war baby with World War II air raid lenses on it. It's going to be a project that is between Sid of Sid's Trains, Carmine, and then Matt Z as well. So we're all going to be working together to make this the most unique and awesome GS4 to ever grace O-Scale. After that, we went to York with Matt R. And at York, I managed to acquire a Southern Pacific Daylight Alco PA for an absolute steal. Matt R definitely poked me on that one to encourage me to empty my wallet into that vendor's hands, which I did. I also got some scale weathered cars from Atlas. One of them was actually really cool because it actually had an interior, which I didn't expect until after I opened up the box at Choo Choo Barn. So that was really cool. And then I also got some cars from Bob Weaver's personal collection, which I did in tribute to Bob Weaver and to our good friend Bernsey, who actually knew Bob Weaver personally. And hearing the stories of Bernsey getting to run trains at Bob's house, Bob's layout, I want to have a little bit of that in my collection as well. An item that arrived after York was the Nickel Plate Road 080 TMCC. That one I bought just because it was just such a good deal. I love the 080s and the nickel plate. I wasn't a big fan of the sound set, so this engine will be moving on to Matt Z, who I hope will be able to enjoy the engine and give it the runtime it deserves. So, Matt, I hope you're excited for that engine, man.
I really am excited. I'm, I don't need another switcher, but I think this one's something different. Plus, it's nickel plate, so it's kind of my area. So I really like it. I'm excited for it.
Yes, you do. Everyone always needs another switcher.
Always.
Come on, Matt. We always need one more train.
Yep.
Just one more, right?
Just one more. That's it. Then you're done.
Yeah.
No more. Then we'll
done,
go,
not done, not done.
Then we'll
Yeah,
go
right?
stamp
That's it.
collecting after that or something. No more trade stamps.
What about train stamps?
No, that's too close. No, you can't cross over. No.
Oh, dang.
And the next one I got was actually some cars that I've been hunting down for a couple of years now, which were the Milwaukee Road aluminum cars from Lionel. I managed to acquire the entire set, including the dome car and the observation car, which are arguably some of the nicest and hardest to find cars. Our local hobby shop had them. I bought them from him, and then I was very fortunate enough to find the 2-pack for such a steal of a price on eBay. So I yoinked those up very quickly. And Matt, I don't know, Matt R. I don't know if you mentioned. Did you mention your new electric, or did I
did.
That? Oh, you did?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was making
I
sure.
meant the bipolar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned the bipolar. Yep.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, my current Milwaukee Road engine is out of commission, so I think I might just loan those cars to Matt R for a little bit and let him enjoy it since they're sitting under my table for now.
I would absolutely love that.
So I'll have to swing by and drop those off for you soon, my dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So going from one of the most higher end cars in the hobby, I got a Railking 280 Proto Sound 3. It's a project engine. I'm actually going to be stealing the boards out of that for my GS4 project, but hey, it's an engine I bought, and it's with Sid currently, so he can harvest the electronics out of it. Winding down here, I also got Matt Z's UP 1996 Southern Pacific Heritage Unit, which is a combination of the Black Widow paint scheme and the Southern Pacific Daylight paint scheme. It is a engine I have dreamed of since I was a child. It was either deciding between a Line Master Challenger or that engine, and I just regret not picking that up because that engine's price has skyrocketed since then. So, Matt Z, thank you so much for parting with this engine. I know you had a existential crisis the first time I tried to ask you to sell it to me.
Yes, I did.
And we made him sit down and stare at that engine for a solid 5 minutes while the piano music played in the background as he reflected on it.
And it was 12:30 in the morning, so it was I was really tired and wanted to go to bed, but
no, we wouldn't. I had to hound you for that engine, and you still said no.
I still said no, and it took a while for me to say yes. But like I said earlier, I'm glad it's going to a good home.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the biggest thing with selling trains, because selling trains is not easy by any means, and I think the key is, like, if you can have someone that that's get it and that's going to enjoy it, that's all you really care about. And that to me, at the end of the day, that's what I care about. And plus, like we said before, if I ever have the urge to want it back, it's a phone call away.
Yeah, I'll put it in a box without the original box and send it to you.
There you go. Sounds good to me.
But yeah, that's one that I'm very happy to have added to my collection. I love the living daylights out of it, no pun intended, and I will continue to keep running it because it's such a beautiful model.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks, dude. I appreciate it. The last two on my list here, one of them is a project I have in the works with Sid. Sid decided he wanted to part with his Protoson 1 MTH Premier Class A. And since I do not have the deep pockets to pay for a Vision Line 1 coming out, I decided I'd take the more economical route and upgrade one to Legacy. So, Sid, I'm excited for this engine. After seeing what you did for Steve with his TMCC 1 to Legacy, I'm excited what you'll do with this Proto 1 engine. I'm very excited, and in fact, I'll have to tear my layout scenery down and redo it all over again just for this engine, but I am excited. And last but not least is the Lionel 4-pack of pasture cars for the ski train. These came in maybe about a week or two ago, and I've been running them nonstop. They're hands down some of the nicest cars I own. Not the nicest, but they're up there. And considering they're my first ever Lionel pre-order, I am ecstatic. There are a couple things I didn't like about them, but um, either way, Lionel did a fantastic job. They're beautiful, and if you like Rio Grande, you like the ski train, go grab it. What are you doing? You're crazy. Go grab them. So that'll be a video. Actually, my next video that'll be appearing on the channel. I'll be doing an in-depth highlight of these cars. So if you ever decide you want to take a look, see what they are before you buy them, I got you covered. But that brings me to the end of my list of things I bought. My wallet is on life support, and I think I need to give it at least a couple of months to recover before I can start buying things again. But I'm happy with what I got, and I am terrified that I bought all this over the course of the year. So, but thank you, Matt Z and Matt R, for helping to contribute to said list of reasons why my wallet is only full of mothballs currently.
Mine too. So I hear you. But no, you're welcome, dude.
Yeah, when you start to make the list and then you kind of realize that it's going down a lot farther than you think, and you're like, holy moly, like where did I find time to even like buy all these things? So but I have a feeling that a lot of people have similar lists for us too. Especially just people who, you sell things, you buy things, you trade things. It all kind of comes full circle. You never seem to ever lose trains. You're always either at the same level, or you have a little more than you thought you did. So it's it's kind of cool. But yeah, I'm very happy with all of my purchases this year as well. So I actually have no regrets. I'm very happy with everything that I bought. And I think just to kind of finish this episode up, since since this is about 2021, and we went over the things we bought, I kind of thought maybe we would just kind of touch on um other things that happened in 2021 for us. Maybe, all the good things that happen, all the things that just kind of made your year, and maybe just a little bit of what's in store for 2022. So Matt Z, go ahead. I'll put you on the spot.
All right. Okay. Uh, okay. You put me on the spot, so I'm just gonna run my mouth.
Yep.
So all right. I think hands down the best thing that happened this year for this was our podcast. Period. I mean, I call Matt all the time, and usually the first thing out of my mouth is after "How you doing?" is I can't believe how much our podcast has grown, and how much we've had so many cool people, and we've had Eric, we've had Derek Thomas, Sid, Johnny, DJ, all of these people that really, to me, make the model train hobby what it is. And to know that there's people into this that you can look to as idols, if you want to call them that, whatever term you want to use, um, uh, to call them. They're fantastic people, all in their own right, and to get a chance to talk to them, even if it's for only an hour or two or three or however long, it's a lot of fun to do that. Or in the case of Discord and other places, make friendships with these people, and it's huge to me to be able to do that. Another thing that I think that is huge is, like I was alluding to earlier, with the trading and having people in this hobby that you can, not necessarily buy from, yes, buy from as well, but more so to trade things. Like Johnny wanted my diesel, and I was going to buy his stuff, or Matt wanted my F3s, which he never took out of the box. But but
I took the lead unit out of the box.
You took the lead unit out of the box. I'll give it to you. But but no, seriously, have people like that you like I said, these things are going to a good home. They're not going to just somebody's house to rot away. That is just huge to me, and I think that mm, it means a lot. So to you guys, to everybody who's listening to this, the people I've mentioned before, huge thanks to all you guys. It means a lot. So cheers to 2022. Let's have some fun.
I agree, man. Johnny, how about you, man?
I honestly cannot believe how far I have come in this hobby within the past year. All the friends I've made, all the experiences I've had, all the people I've met. It's surreal, especially with this podcast. I mean, heck, I went from a listener of your podcast to a host, a co-host on the podcast. That's still mind blowing to me, and I owe a lot to this podcast as well. Um, if it wasn't for me mentioning the podcast on Sid's live stream and making Matt Z fall out of his chair, if that was
that's it.
if it wasn't for that, I would never have met Matt Z. If it wasn't through Matt Z in Discord, I would never have met Matt R. And without Matt R, I wouldn't have the experiences I've had in my life, as well as being able to have a buddy who is legitimately half an hour from me, and then we can just be like, I could be like, hey Matt, I'm bored, want to go to hobby shop, and have a guy to hang out with at weekends and run trains with. And being able to meet a lot of the influencers in the hobby and call them great friends of mine, people I can chat with almost every night, and joke with, is amazing. The opportunities we've had, like Matt and I, with working with Berwin, is something that's amazing. Berwin's Toys and Trains, and helping them, and just being able to meet everyone in person for the first time at York this year has to be one of the best moments of my life. That's probably the hands down my favorite weekend I've ever had, and I'm just glad that I got to experience it. I went from knowing nobody in the hobby to meeting all these great folks, and it's all in part thanks to just reaching out, and talking with folks, and a great part of that goes to Discord as well. So our buddy Isaac from the Discord server actually asked me, before he joined the Discord on Instagram when he reached out. He asked, "How did you do it? How did you what did you do to meet all these people?" And I'll give you guys the same advice I gave him: reach out, say hi, because this hobby is our community is a big community where it's big enough where we have influencers, but small enough where even though they're influencers in the YouTube side of things, they'll still talk to you, they'll still say hi, they'll still message you back. And heck, RBP Chris, RBP Trains, who we had a couple of episodes ago, there's a great example of an influencer there. He'll go out and email people and message people back, and some of the kids that reach out to him, and the parents and kids that reach out to him, heck, he'll there's times where he sent them stuff too. So um, the community really makes it for me in this hobby, and I can't thank everyone enough. And if you guys want to have a place where you can do that as well, I cannot recommend the Discord enough. If you want a good starting place, check out the Discord. So yeah, that's where I am.
Well, that's hard to follow. You guys said some awesome things. Yeah, and just kind of like tap on that Discord thing, guys. It is absolutely 100% free. There is no cost to be on our Discord server. It is 100% free. You literally click on the link and you will be in our Discord server. Like, we ask nothing else of you guys but to be part of our community that we've kind of built here. And speaking of community, just for me, I'm just so excited about this podcast. Like, we are close to 8,000 downloads. 8,000 downloads. Like, I can't even like fathom that number. That
Me either.
like I can't even believe that we're we've gotten this far and that many downloads, and all these people in the train community that wanted to be on our podcast. It's amazing. And you know
It's
what,
huge.
we owe it all to you, the person that's listening to this podcast right now. Like, you guys made this happen. Like, you kept downloading our episodes, you kept giving us feedback. Like, you guys have been there, like, for every single episode. Hey, Matt's got something new, I'm gonna click it. This is really something to be proud of. And it's number two, to just be able to talk with your best buddies is just a gift in itself, right? Like, I mean, we do this anyway, but we do a podcast with it, so it's like it's just like it's like the best thing you've ever eaten plus the gravy on top. So it's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, this has just been a wonderful year. Meeting everybody, and like Johnny said, we went to York. York was awesome. Like I just had the time of my life. Like I don't travel all that much. I'm not really a traveling person, but I'm just so glad I did, and I met all these people that we normally just talk to through Discord. So again, we're we seem to be pushing Discord a lot, but we're doing it not like on purpose, but just because we have so many good things to say about it. Like I said, like Johnny, I think Johnny said the perfect. It's like, don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to join our Discord server. If you come in here and you don't like it, you can leave. There's no pressure. There's nobody to judge anybody else. We just ask that you give it a try. You never know, because sometimes it's hard to meet people in this hobby, and this is why we created this Discord server, so people can have a place to hang out, right? Back on kind of the things that happened for me this year. My YouTube channel grew. My goal this year was to hit 1,000 subscribers. I'm at 1,240, so I'm over my goal. So that was just really ecstatic for have something like it happen. Like Johnny said, like us working with the Berwyn Toys and Trains hobby shop was something else that just really, really kind of sparked me a little bit and be like, wow, this is fun. I'm able to do the things that I love doing, and I get to help people, while I'm doing it, and that just it makes everything like so worth it. Thank you to everybody out there who downloads the podcast. We thank you for your time. We thank you for clicking on our podcast, hitting the download button, and downloading it or streaming it, or listening to it on whatever platform you're listening to it. We really appreciate you, and I want to wish everybody a safe, happy holidays, an awesome 2022. We got a lot of awesome things here happening in 2022. So just, I don't want to spill any beans. I don't want to give any spoilers. We do have the catalog. We have the Lionel catalog show coming up in January, and you won't believe who is going to be on for that catalog show. I'm not going to say anything.
Yes, we do.
It's gonna be me. I'm there.
it's gonna be Johnny, everybody. That
I'm
was
the special guest.
spoiler. It's Johnny, but there will be a fourth person as well, and you're gonna be surprised for sure. We got all kinds of interviews already lined up for 2022. We got all kinds of episodes ready to go, topics and stuff, and we are super excited for 2022. All right, so let's probably wrap this up. We're a little bit over an hour here, but Johnny, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me at the Audamus YouTube channel. That's AUDAMUS on YouTube. You can find me there screaming at trains, traveling the country, and doing wacky things to embarrass myself related to the hobby on there. You can also find me on Instagram at Audamus_trains. You can reach out to me there. Let's have a conversation. That's how I've met a lot of the folks here on our Discord, and just in general. I love talking with folks and hearing what they have to say. So please reach out. Like I said, our buddy Isaac, or O Scale Everyday, is someone who reached out, and he has been a great friend of mine who we've been talking to almost every night this past week. So please reach out, and you can find me there.
Matt Z, how about yourself, buddy?
You can find me on YouTube under Matt-Trainlover9943. You can also find me on Facebook under the same name as well.
All right, and you can find me on as West Chicago Model Railroad on YouTube. You can find me on Facebook under the same name, and you can find me on Instagram if you just look up WCMRR. As for the podcast, we are on Facebook. We are on Discord. I will put the link to the Discord in the show notes, so just take a look at that. It'll be kind of near the top. I'll make sure I'll kind of highlight it so you know where it's at. But again, folks, if you have any questions about it, if you're kind of like just hesitant, you can reach out to us via email or by Facebook. If you want to private message us, that's fine too. If you're not sure about it, be more than happy to answer your question. Matt Z and Johnny, you guys are awesome. Thank you both for being here and being on this podcast. I can't wait for 2022. You guys are my best buddies, and I want to wish you both a awesome holiday season and a wonderful new year.
Have a great holiday, everyone.
Same goes to you. See you guys.
Good night, guys.
Take care, guys.